Okay, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Vanessa, and this is Dr. Joanne, and we're here on Zoom. We're going to chat, and Joanne has many questions for me. So the goal of this video and my YouTube is to inspire others to dream big for their career as a Pinoy doctor. So as a background, nasabi ko na sa'yo, Joanne, na like you, I finished my residency in Medical City 18 years, 19 years ago.
Wow.
And oh, maybe even, yeah, I think 2004, I finished my radiology residency in the Medical City. That was in the old Medical City. And then even before, during my first year, I was already inspired to do interventional radiology fellowship. So I was really focused on going overseas and do fellowship training. And my plan was to apply all over America. The American dream, right? The
Yeah.
American dream to apply all over America and work and do the fellowship training and go back to the Philippines because there's no training. I don't know whether there is one now there. Kung may training in interventional. I'm not
I
sure.
think they already have Doctor in St. Luke's.
Oh, yun. So back then, there were only two interventional radiologists, one in St. Luke's and one in Medical City. So I was inspired by my consultant. He was trained in America. And I was volunteering sa lahat ng mga interventional procedures from first year to final year ko. Kahit yung mga colleagues ko na ahead of me and below me, they don't like to do intervention. So ako lahat ang blessed ako kasi na-monopolize ko lahat ng procedures during my time. So nung pag after my training, I applied all over the world, including Australia. Back then I was just Googling. Ah, Chinek ko lang lahat. Hindi ko pa alam kung Google pa noon, Yahoo yata noon eh.
Yahoo Doc,
Chinek ko
I
lang
think on that.
Chinek ko lang lahat ng mga hospitals who are offering fellowship positions. And I even applied as a radiographer in America. I don't know why I did that, but I just want to go out and, I just want to train. And the goal was to do the training and go back to the Philippines. So I was lucky enough to be offered the interventional radiology fellowship. And then that started my journey. So, enough for me. Tell me about you, and then ask me your questions, and I'll try to answer them.
All right, Doc. First of all, I'm 43 years old. I think that's one factor that's why I really reached out to you. I've been practicing radiology for 5 years since I finished my diplomate. And then I went through and finished CT, ultrasound and CT MRI. So I did all my fellowship here. And then my husband is also 43 years old. He's a doctor in a GP.
Mm,
So I have a lot of questions. But first of all, I will do things concerning me on my pathway.
yeah.
So that's it, Doc. I've been practicing. And before pandemic came, luckily I went back to the province before the lockdown. And then so from then on, I've been practicing here already. I was not able to go back to Das Marinas for practice further. So we've been looking through other options because we said that maybe it's now a time for us to move to another place or to venture out what opportunities we might have, especially that kids are growing up. We have two children, 18 years old and 10 years old. So what we did at last year, we were able to go through the pathway going to UK because I was also able to ask one consultant who is already there. Apparently, she's also a graduate of DLSUMC radiology training. So I asked her questions on UK. And then I got into the step one. examination. So step 1 would be anatomy and physics. So I got through the exam in Singapore. I passed the anatomy part, but unfortunately, I didn't pass the physics part. So that's why I was asking myself, is it really for us going to UK? Or we've been really praying for what other options we might have. And then it was just this year, February, that we were able to meet a person who is from Australia. Actually, he's a businessman who owns a education and visa consultancy based in Brisbane. And then we were able to ask, how about the pathway for doctors going to Australia? He said, oh, we can do a pathway for that. So my husband and I just researched online on the pathway, because even before, when we were in med school or even in internship, I looked through the pathway of US, UK, but never did I look into the pathway of Australia. Really, we really didn't have any idea on that. So that when we look through it, so it's not that meticulous as UK regarding to one challenge in UK pathway is that the scheduling of examination. It really takes a while for you to get a slot, because for example, slot opens this month, so you were able to get a schedule, but once all the slots have been filled in, you can no longer take another slot, not unless someone will back out, and then you have to wait another year for that. So we said, oh, it's not that meticulous as UK, but then on one side, the cost, there's maybe we really have to do more on the cost for the Australian pathway. But we said it's doable, I think, but we may just have to pray for people, for the right persons to guide us. And luckily, we were able to coordinate with one of the AMC review center here in the Philippines, the coordinator. We were able to talk to her, and then she gave us the link for the group chat, Filipino doctors into Australia. So that's where I was able to look at your page, Doctor. So that's it. So we're chatting and making inquiries already. So that's our story on how we get into the Australian pathway.
So, what's the ultimate goal? What's your why? Why are you reaching out to me? Why are you researching going to the UK or Australia? What's the ultimate goal? Bakit?
Bakit?
Bakit? Yun ang number
Yes,
one
Doc.
question ko sa'yo.
So primarily, maybe a lot of people will ask us, bakit 43 na kayo, ba't pa kayo aalis?
Mm-mm.
So maybe because we got at to this age because we entered med school a little bit late than our batchmates.
Mm-mm.
But then, as we see our children growing up, sabi namin, okay naman sa Philippines. Okay, but then hanggang saan natin magigauge yung capability natin to work further, to go other people, one of our friend is advising us, go out of your comfort zone. So that's the one, I think that there was really hesitancy on my part before, but then this now came into our parang naisip din po namin, yeah, it's no longer for us but for the children. I can say that this will be more on their benefit, giving them better opportunities as they grow up once we get this this goal po namin.
That's very powerful. If you know your why, anything is possible. If you know your why, anything is possible. Yes, it's comfortable sa Philippines. We have everything in the Philippines. We are doctors in the Philippines. We can do whatever we want. We can earn whatever we want. We can work hard whenever we want. But the
Yes.
question is, how hard do you work in the Philippines? Do you work full time? Do you work 7 days? Do you work 6 days?
Yes, though. And how long will be I will be working here in the Philippines?
And how long are you gonna work full time in the Philippines? Is it sustainable? Yes, we are happy. I mean, I have no question about that. But ako kasi, kaya ako lumabas, my only reason to go out is just to train to be the first female interventional radiologist in the Philippines. Not because I want to be the first. I just want to do interventional. Yun lang yung nag-spark sa'kin. Yun lang yung first love ko. Dun ako na-fall in love sa radiology. And, because I met my husband here back then, same year when I was training, I felt, yes, I think this is where I am. I'm going to stay. I'm not going back. My plan was to go back, but destiny or the Lord gave me other plans, open up opportunities for me to stay in Australia. And so at that time, I said, okay, I'm stuck. I need to do the exam. I have no choice. No matter what, I have to do the exam. So, yes, it was hard. It was hard first thing first to find a job. Kasi I was fortunate enough na meron akong perspective na, yes, I'm not going back to the Philippines because earning as a fellow, I already told you sa chat, or earning as a fellow dito sa Australia, I'm not going back. Kung iko-compute ko yung sinuweldo ko sa dito compared sa Pilipinas, hindi ko ma-achieve yun in a year in the Philippines, let alone maybe 5 years. Pagbalik ko sa Pilipinas, kung bumalik man ako sa Pilipinas after my training, kung hindi man ko na-meet yung asawa ko, I'll be probably like you working 6, 7 days a week. At saka, nakatira ako sa Parañaque and pupunta ako Medical City. Lahat ng sweldo ko lang doon at that time before I went to Australia, napunta lang lahat sa toll at saka sa gasolina, 'di ba? At saka ang oras ko napunta lahat sa driving, sa traffic. So, yun. Anyway, so, yes, that's very powerful. Your why is for your family, for your kids. And, I must say yung mga kaibigan ko dito na na-meet, they all started late then like you. They all, went to Australia after 40. For
So
example,
it's not a factor, Doc.
it
Being
is
too
not a
late.
factor here. First thing first, meron, nakwento sa'kin na ang asawa ko may napuntahan siyang conference na ang keynote speaker nila is a doctor who just got qualified at 40. Oh, she did, medicine at 40. Puti yata 'to or another lahi, pero nag-doktor lang siya at the age of 40. So that's doable. Meron din akong naging estudyante nung 2020, na nag-change lang siya ng career, ano siya, architect siya. Nag-change lang siya ng career to medicine, kakatapos final year student siya at the age of 40.
Oh.
Patapos pa
But
lang
they're
siya ng
citizens there,
medicine.
Doc. They're
But they're
citizens.
citizen. I have a friend na nasa YouTube din 'yun. Nag-work siya as a nurse first and then went into AMC 1 and 2 while working as a nurse. And then after ng passing the exam niya ng AMC 2, nag-apply siya ng GP training. Now she's a GP obstetrician and, 50 na siya ngayon, tapos na siya. Napagtapos na niya lahat yung dalawa niyang anak at
While on
she's only
training.
tapos na siya. Graduate na, nagtatrabaho na. So, ang trabaho niya ngayon is only part-time. Sasabi ko sa kanya, kumpara sa akin na late bloomer at sa'yo, hindi mo na kailangan lumagari. Tapos ka na. So, you have no reason to work full-time anymore. You can work 3 days, 4 days, and you're sustainable na yun just for her and for the asawa niya. Wala na silang
Wala ng
na siya, woman
responsibilities
of
po.
leisure na siya. So, swim ka na lang diyan, gym ka na lang diyan. Ngayon traveling na lang siya. So, at the age of 50, part-timer na lang siya. Tapos ang isa ko namang Filipino, friend, natapos niya ang GP, nag-nurse din siya sa Pilipinas, ay sorry, nag-nurse din siya dito Tas nag-AMC 1 and 2 siya, nag-GP training siya. She got qualified as a GP at the age of 50. Yung isa ko namang kaklase sa Lasal, I don't know kung na-meet mo si Martin. Surgeon siya sa Lasal,
Martin. Parang
Herming.
hindi ko na ako siguro naabot do.
Oo. Anyway, nag-ano siya, ang pathway niya, I don't know kung anong nauna, Doctors Without Borders yata siya. Tas nakakuha siya ng job sa New South Wales as a fellow, I think. And then na-meet siya ng head of department dito sa WA, na-offeran siya ng job at ini-sponsor yung siya at saka yung wife niya for permanent residency. Citizen na sila ngayon at the age of 50. Yeah, nag-relocate lang siya noong 2020 dito sa Perth. Oh,
Doable daw.
kung alam mo naman ang ano natin prinsipyo, if there's a will, there's a way, di ba?
Yes, Doctor. Yes,
Try and
Doc.
try until you succeed. So, at saka, in regards to UK, there are a lot of UK doctors who are already here
Going
applying in
there.
Australia, going to Australia.
I heard po.
They are paid more than, I think, more double than the UK,
Yeah.
and they want the beach life. They don't want the gloomy life in the UK.
So sabi ng
yeah,
husband ko, maybe it's not for us, the UK. So maybe that's a reason. There's a reason why they didn't pass physics in the first place. Sabi niya. So this an opportunity opened. So ito po, Doc. We're looking through the pathway and we are really consulting on you for guidance.
So, ang
Kung paano po
consultant is
yung
for you. Kasi, iba yung pathway ng asawa mo. It's something I cannot help. Yes, I can help, which I said, AMC 1, AMC 2.
yes, Doc.
So, your chances of, yung AMC 1, sa mga nakausap ko, nakita mo naman, nagtuturo ko around Australia and Singapore.
Singapore.
Natutunan ko sa kanila na AMC 1 is your stepping stone to get a RMO job here in Australia. The minimum, I think, is AMC 1. But your chances are to get a job is kung dito sa Australia or any state in Australia is AMC 1 and 2. But I did spoke to other people, and you will see in the group chat as well, there are people who got in just having an AMC 1. Ang AMC 1, kailangan mo talagang bunuin yon. You have to really focus on AMC 1. Hindi ka dapat distracted kasi pag distracted ka, it's like sitting the board exam.
Yes, Doctor.
You have to connect with other people in the group chat kasi meron silang study group. You
Yes,
need
Doc.
to be studying with them. Kasi,
And we have already inquired also with one of the review center who happens that the owner was also a former batchmate in
yun.
med school.
Yun
Yun
naman
po.
pala.
So,
So, review, connect with other people, connect with Ariana. For AMC 1. Tapos, after AMC 1, you can, while you're applying for RMO job, you can also start studying for AMC 2.
C2. Okay, Doc.
Yun ang pathway niya. For you, yes, maybe it's useful to have AMC 1, but I'd like you to consider applying for specialist pathway. So, yes, magastos siya. Connect kita kay Lyrica. So, nag-apply siya doon kasi with specialist pathway ng Ranza, na-send ko na ba sa yung link? O
Yes,
nakita mo
Doc.
na yung link?
Or I already have also go through yung link po kasi sabi niya dun sa video nyo last time ni Anika, I heard that you have to check every now and then kasi nag-update. So
Oo.
yung last posted po nila is 2022
Okay.
guideline po sa pathway.
So, the reason why I want you to consider that, because the assessment takes a long time, 6 to 12 months or more. So, kung nakasubmit na yung papel mo, at least umaandar. Kasi, Pagka dinelay mo pa 'yan lalo lang made-delay ka. The reason being ang dami kasing na-hold up for the past 3 years, so they're just going
Mm.
through the backlog.
Yes, Doc, because of the
Because for the past
pandemic.
3 years, we closed our borders. So there's a long backlog. At saka once na-assess ka na ng specialist pathway at may interview ka na, at least I
Mm.
know how to guide you. What's the next step? Whether you
Yes,
need
Doc.
to do extra training or because you need to prepare yourself that they might ask you to do extra 6 or 12 months training. Your goal is to just hopefully na ma-suggest lang nila no further training, sit the exam or just maximum of 6 months additional
Yes, Doc.
training.
But based
Yun ang may
on those people, Doc, that you were able to get in touch with, ano yung probability po, higher probability of the result of the assessment? May
so
mga nabigyan po?
yung isa kong natulungan, hindi yata niya from Saint Luke siya, hindi niya yata kinailangan mag-train, pero
Hmm.
deep inside, you need to train. Because when I came here back 18 years ago, I wasn't at par with them with the first years. So, I feel that walang 1% ang alam ko sa kanila. So,
Mm.
I really needed, more than 2 years
To
to
train po.
to train, to study. That's why it took me a long time. So 2005 dumating, nag-apply lang ako mag-exam. Siguro ano na 2009, 8, 9 or something like that. Dun lang ako nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob mag-apply for the exam. Pero yung isang kasama, tapos lang niya ng radiology, hindi pa siya nagsi-CT MRI, wala siyang fellowship na nag-apply siya for assessment. Habang nag-iintay siya ng assessment, nag-apply siya ng, radiology registrar trainee position na actually sabi ko sa kanya mag-volunteer muna siya, observership,
Mm.
ayun pinakilala ko siya sa mga, hospital connection dito. Ta's a-attend siya, tapos nakakuha siya na ma bihira lang 'to, nakakuha siya ng 1 year training position sa Victoria.
Mm.
Which really helped her a lot. Although sa kanya it was what do you call this, sacrifice kasi may dalawa siyang anak nun, kakapanganak lang ng isa. So she has
Ah,
to bring her mom or in-laws to look after her family,
okay.
her kids dito sa Perth whilst nasa Victoria siya
Victoria
for a
siya.
year. So, gano'n din ang ginawa ko nung re-review ako at saka nagte-training ko. I had my mom and my in-laws looking after my kids every year because I was doing on-calls, I was
Yes.
doing, exam, I was also studying at the same time. So, yes, I had mommy guilt feeling no'n. Eh, malaki na yung mga anak mo, hindi na kailangan. So, they will.
They understand already,
Will
Doc.
understand, been there, done that for sure. Nakita na nila yung paghihirap niyo sa pag-aaral pero, yun, I literally guilty ako na I have to forget to be a mom at that time pero they were still young, I don't think they will remember.
Mm. Opo.
It takes a village to be where I am now. So, marami talagang tumulong sa'kin at saka kailangan all in, not only you, all in ka at ang asawa mo pagdating sa ganyan. Very understanding dapat yung the whole family and your relatives when you're going through transition, a big, major milestone sa buhay mo. So, I still encourage you to check the specialist pathway. And then yung isa pa pala, sorry, isang, from Nigeria naman siya, napanood mo naman yung video ni Ginika?
Yes po.
So yun, nakarating siya dito during the pandemic, nag-work siya as a, ah, daycare? Sa daycare?
Daycare po. Oh, yes, Doctor.
Oo, kasi kailangan mo rin ng funds, eh.
Mm.
for your assessment. So, nag-apply siya na ang sinabi sa kanya kailangan it took I think more than 6 months yung kanyang assessment during the pandemic
6
kasi nga
months.
sarado o maybe 12
Before she
months
had the
pa.
interview, Doc, tama po ba?
Oo, matagal siya naghintay tawag siya ng tawag sa'kin, "Bakit daw gano'n?" Sabi ko, "Be patient."
Yes.
Yun lang sinabi ko sa
Patience
kanya,
is a
"Be
virtue.
patient, darating 'yan." So,
Opo.
lagi yun. Tapos nung nagkaroon na siya ng assessment, sabi kailangan niya ng 6 months. 5 years na siyang consultant sa Nigeria or more than 5 years o 8 years pa yata. Pero she was, asked to do 6 months of training. Yun ang
Mhm.
mahirap maghanap ng training. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, "You can only find a job if you are going to be proactive." So, I told
Mm.
her to apply to everyone. And after many months of waiting and applying, she got offered a job in Adelaide. So, nakatapos na siya ngayon ng 1 year ng Adelaide training.
And she's waiting for her to sit the
She's
ano pa,
sitting
Doc,
the
'no?
exam in
Yung part
August,
2.
part 2.
August na pala.
Kasi ang goal mo, pagka in-assess ka, ang goal mo is to only sit the part 2 exam. 'Pag na-prove mo na you're, 'pag na-prove mo sa credentials mo na you're a safe radiologist, that you're a qualified radiologist and you can practice as a radiologist, you don't need to sit the part 1 exam. Yun yung hindi ko nasinit kasi nung na-assess
Okay.
ako, lahat kami hindi na kami pagka specialist pathway, ang goal mo is not to sit the part 1 exam which is anatomy and physics.
Oh.
So yun ang goal mo
Okay,
for
Doc.
your
So,
interview.
dun po magi-gauge sa interview po if you're going to sit or not. Okay.
Doon mage-gauge sa interview if you need to do extra training before to sit the exam.
Mhm.
They will allow you to only sit the exam 'pag natapos mo yung, for example, recommendation nila ng 6 months. For me, I was
Yes,
recommended
Doc.
to do 18 months.
Okay.
So I
18
did
months, Doc.
I did 18 months of additional training, which unfortunately, they did not count my 'pag naputol tayo ano,
Yes, Doc. We still have 10
pasok ko
minutes.
na lang ulit. Pagka, ano yun, so 18 months, so hindi nila kinount yung 1 year ko as a interventional radiology also in the
Fellow po.
Philippines. Kasi
Okay.
pala sabi ni Ginika, kailangan you have at least more than 2 years as a consultant, practicing
Okay.
consultant. Eh, ako wala, eh. Wala
Opo,
akong
Doc, kasi fresh pa lang kayo na
fresh lang ako nun.
fellow that time.
So siya kasi kaya 6 months lang kasi meron na siyang 5, 8 years of of
Experience.
experience.
Okay.
So for you, you have more than that. 5 years, sabi
5
niya?
years na po
Oh,
since diplomate, Doc.
so yun ang ano mo, yun ang goal mo to prove na sa assessment, sa specialist pathway 'pag nag-a-apply ka dun sa mga list na may papagawa sa yung mga kailangan mo ng if you don't have the logbook, you need to remember what you've done from for your first year to final
To
year
4th year
to
po.
being kasi,
Fellowship. Hello.
fellowship hanggang lahat ng procedures, lahat ng cases, at you have to have 50 hours of CPD.
CPD
CPD
units, Doc.
hindi lang conferences 'yun. Kung
Opo, yung
nagtuturo ka ng estudyante, kasama 'yun sa CPD.
okay po. Noted, Doc.
Maraming criteria ang CPD, hindi lang conferences. Hindi lang in-house and and conferences. In-house meetings kasama dun. Yung
Mm.
mga multidisciplinary clinical meetings kasama yon. Marami. Si Lyrica ang magga-guide sa'yo kasi yung una niya daw assessment binalik sa kanya kasi kulang daw siya ng CPD. So, nag-CPD pa siya online sa Radiopedia, check mo yung
Yes, Doc.
website. So, yun. Kasi alam ko sa Philippines libre kayo, eh. Alam ko meron kayong
Um,
free access sa kasi may mga countries silang nakalagay dun na you can
Hindi kasama ang Philippines, Doc.
hindi
We're
na,
not in the tier,
tinanggal na.
mas mataas na tayo. Bangladesh
So,
yata and the others
at
are
saka
included.
nag-member din ako RSNA kasi pagka nag-online ka, virtual conference ka sa RSNA, 20 plus na yun na na CPD.
Okay.
Yung mga
I just
online,
attended one recent lang po, 15 po yun eh,
ayun,
libre. So
marami,
kahit pa paano
marami.
paano, Doc.
Marami online na magbibigay ng CPD. Just check it out.
Yes.
Yun, hanapin mo lang yun. So, yun na, ang goal ko for you, kung i-consider mo is specialist pathway muna. And habang you're doing that and filling up all the documents and accumulating all the it took me 2 months to write all my my
Cases po.
my logbook kasi
Logbook.
kailangan mo i-prove eh. Kailangan mo
Okay,
i-prove.
so maybe I might start as well na rin po if ever. So, Doc,
You need to
question po.
champion your you need to champion everything you've done. Lalo na yung mga cases mo sa CT and MRI. Ako wala akong MRI din noon eh, kaya yun rin ang akin. Kaya kailangan ko ng 18 months. Nagkaka-set up lang ng MRI sa medical city nung patapos na ako eh. Kaya didn't have the number of cases ng MRI na ma-prove eh.
Pero wala po yung Doc, certain number of cases that you have to, parang quota number of cases. Wala naman, Doc. You just have to
Wala,
list down everything.
everything. Tsaka
Okay.
they are big on procedures.
Alright. Procedures po.
Especially kung hands-on ka sa ultrasound, isulat mo yun.
Ultrasound. Yes, Doc.
Kailangan
Kasi
sulat mo na wala kang sonographer kasi dito sonographer lahat
may
eh.
sonographer po, Doc.
Oo.
Yes, Doc. And then, Doc, so far, for those recently po na nakausap nyo, so far, ilang years po yung maximum po na upskilling nila na parang na-recommend so far?
Ako lang yata pinakamatagal kausap ko. I don't know about
Okay.
your friend, yung nasa mo na ilang months, years siya nag-upskill.
Kasi Doc, iba kasi yung pathway niya. Before he went there, nag-apply na siya for a position. I think he got a fellowship position first.
So,
So,
i-send ko
nag-training
sa'yo
siya
mga
dyan.
mag-send ako sa'yo ng mga fellowship positions. Apply ka rin.
Okay po.
There's no guarantee you'll get it because that fellowship position is open for everyone all over the world and also in the local
Mm-mm.
communities. And usually pinopost lang nila yon pagka meron na sila, actually nagpo-post lang nila sila just for formality. Usually they already have someone accepted for the 2024. Usually ang gagawin mo, nag-a-apply ka dapat for 2025. Pero there's no harm in trying and applying
Right.
kung may opening. Kasi like for me, nung nakakuha ko ng job nung 2008, meron na silang supposedly na i-hire from overseas, eh hindi dumating. Eh ako nandito na. Nandito
So,
na ako.
para talaga sa inyo yun, Doc.
So, binigay sa akin ng breast imaging fellowship. It was served to me in a silver platter because I was already here. And I was
Mm-mm.
also, they know that I was looking because I was always telling them, I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking.
So, it's possible to try po.
Yeah, kasi if
Uh-huh.
it's for you, it will be for you. Everything will fall into place. Everything will be aligned.
All right.
I did not even know that there's such a thing as breast imaging fellowship. Only when it was offered to me. Oh, okay. I
Yun po pala yung destiny niyo, Doc, sa women's and breast imaging.
Oo.
So, another question, Doc. So, for example, you've been recommended for upskilling. So, there's compensation for that, right po?
OMG, yes.
Yes, okay. And
100%.
then,
Katulad ng sinabi ko sa iyo na compensation, that's double na ngayon.
wow.
Kaya kahit gaano kagastos magpa-assess, kikitain mo na yon ng isang
Oo nga,
buwan.
Doc, eh. Na-compute ko na-convert ko na into pesos yung,
Yes,
so that para,
yeah, mabigat, pero kikitain mo rin yun. At saka yung gastos mo naman, hindi ka agad-agad. 'Di ba? Kunwari,
yes, Doc.
assessment muna. Susunod, IELTS o PTE ngayon na mas madali daw.
Pero in the guideline kasi, Doc, kung nakalagay IELTS,
PTE ang ginagawa ng mga tao ngayon, tanong mo. Tanong mo
PTE.
na lang.
Ang PTE po sa mga GP, yung
Sabi?
common po na naririnig ko. Pero when I read po yung guideline,
You can email
parang
them and ask.
maybe we can ask Doc if ever
Kasi
PTE is
alam
possible.
ako kasi nag-IELTS ako at saka OET. Actually, pinakamadali OET for me.
OET.
Hindi ako nag-PTE, wala pang PTE nung time ko eh.
Okay, Doc.
Nag-OET
Sige,
ako
Doc.
kasi pinakamadali yung OET dahil medical lahat ang tanong. At saka pagka may binaksak kang isa, i-repeat mo lang yung nabaksak mo, hindi mo i-repeat lahat.
Okay po. Sige, Doc. I'll try to ask. Verify ko na rin po kasi parang IELTS yung nakita ko sa
Pero you can ask the
guideline nila.
college and
Yes, Doc.
they might reply in few days or weeks.
Okay, Doc.
And
then,
proceed muna natin yung next question mo gawin natin next pasok ka na lang ulit, okay?
yes po. Right, Doc.
Ayan ko muna to.